Hey guys, Craftback here, and today I'm here with a different kind of video today. Not being an animation and not anything object show related. Instead, it's going to be focusing on a game I am very passionate about and really excited for that's coming in less than a month. It is called Donkey Kong Bananza, and if you don't know, that game was announced for the Switch 2 at the Switch 2 Direct in April. And damn, it's been 2 months since then. Time goes by really fast. And today I decided I would go through a wish list of what I want from this game, as I'm really passionate about this game and I'm really excited for it, as honestly I think it's most likely going to be my game of the year, no doubt. So I thought it would be good to at least have a wish list of some things I want to really see in the game. So with further ado, let's get started. Number 1, costumes. Just to get this out of the way, yes, costumes. This is something I really love in games, especially as a 3D platformers as of late. Games like Mario Odyssey, Crash 4, and even older Shadow indie titles like Hail the Kangaroo has costumes in them. And this is something I would love to see in Bananza, which is something that's already been confirmed, as it was revealed in the Nintendo Direct last week, which they have shown a bunch of different costumes, and that these costumes actually have a bunch of different abilities that can aid you on your journey. Things like able to surf and like a bunch of other cool things, like there's a bunch of other things like being able to ice skate or just go underwater, help you float and swim. So it's like they're going really beyond on how costumes work in this game, and I really hope for more like cool ones. And like for examples, like one like in Mario Odyssey, you have a skin that's a retro skin, which is based on his Mario 64 model, and same thing goes for Crash 4, which had a skin that was based on his original Naughty Dog Trilogy model. If Donkey Kong had his old retro skin model from Donkey Kong 64, that would actually be really cool and something I would love to see. And if this is made by the Odyssey team, I would actually really be surprised if they didn't do this, but you know, we'll see. But I think that's something I would really love. If they're going all out on skins with a bunch of different abilities, a bunch of other like cool things, I think like a retro skin would be nice. And I feel like maybe that could be something that could be really cool, since they've shown that the challenge rooms, which we'll get on in a bit, has stages that are callbacks to the original Donkey Kong Country games. So if you're able to wear a skin, and maybe with the skin you might be able to unlock a level that's way more, not even just like a whole like reference, but a whole like callback references, like a whole bunch of things to the Donkey Kong Country games. I think that would be great to use and great to implement. Maybe some callbacks to 64, since that's what the skin is based off of. Number 2, skill tree. Unlike costumes, a skill tree was also confirmed in the Bananza Nintendo Direct, in which Donkey Kong has access to a skill tree, in which in most video games, a skill tree is also associated with combat, strength, and overall your health, and which has shown to be happening here, as Donkey Kong is able to get stronger, breaking terrain, having been able to collect more bananas, and more abilities to your moveset. For my wish list on here for the skill tree though, I wouldn't say more so on combat, as I would say like, I wouldn't say necessarily combat like games like Devil May Cry, Spider-Man, or God of War, like the average like combat for associated with a skill tree, but more regarding movesets. With this game, we can also see that the moveset in this game is crazy, a lot more crazy than like previous stuff like the Donkey Kong Country Returns, and which is known for its crazy and more advanced moveset compared to other platformers, especially with that since 2D. With this being 3D, I can see that very much having a lot of use here. In which I would also say, when it comes to here, I'm looking more into more simple moves that can be more addictive into your moveset. Like, instead of having full-on combat, I think Donkey Kong be able to have more basic things, like more like an uppercut, more like maybe like multi-punch, and also more just stuff like just anything basic, but it's like you can able to use the interact with traversing, like being able to roll, like run and go into a roll, and then be able to go through a rocking hard uppercut to an enemy. Stuff like that I think can really innovate the game and can move more players into what they can do in the open world. Number 3, challenges and puzzles. Since this game is basically confirmed and shown to be open world, most people are ideally going to think, what's going to be in the open world? What things are you going to be able to actually access, and things you're going to learn from open world? In which most open world games tend to have puzzles and challenges. Puzzles tending to aid the player into understanding the movement and testing their skill. In which with this game, in terms of puzzles, we have seen some of them in the Treehouse Live stuff, and also very little in stuff like the Direct and other footages like public demos. In which I would say for the puzzles, they look pretty decent. I think they look pretty in line with like the stuff from like Bowser's Fury and stuff like that I do like. But I also think when it comes to like the puzzles and stuff like that, I do also think that maybe they can, hopefully they do get a little challenging. I hope in terms of like stuff like the Odyssey stuff, like being able to be fun, even if they aren't challenging, able to be fun, or in a way being able to be challenging in a way that makes the player think outside the box, similar to games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Speaking of which, the game is shown to have challenge acts being named Ancient Ruins, in which they kinda act like the ones from Odyssey, but at the same time they also act like the shrines from Breath of the Wild, or stages like Cyberspace and Sonic Frontiers. They have basic things like the Odyssey challenge ones, like beating a certain amount of enemies or doing something in a certain amount of time, or things that might require a little more thought like the shrines in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, or little stages, like I said earlier, act as like callbacks to the Donkey Kong Country / Return games, like as Cyberspace does for Sonic Frontiers, with having stages and zones that look similar to Sonic's past like Green Hill and Chemical Plant. In which, when I see here, I think something I really would want to see them pull is some of the creative stuff they have from Odyssey, like being able with your movement, like as you were with Cappy, being able to defeat enemies or being able to grab collectibles to aid you in that challenge act to complete it, or maybe stuff like have you think really outside the box, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild with the shrines. That's stuff I really would want to see them advance on, really being able to have a bunch of value and with what you want to do with this game, and which can really aid into exploration in the open world. But overall, I will say that is pretty much my wish list for Donkey Kong Bonanza. What wish lists do you guys have? You guys can drop them in the comments. Was there something that I should have put in here that you guys think of, or anything you just might want to say in general? But anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.